Okay, hey everybody. I'm kind of moving quickly through these so I don't lose my train of thought. And I know if I don't get all 10 clips out today, it'll probably be 3 years before I do it with the way life gets so busy. So this is session 3. If you're here with me again, welcome. It's funny, I'm sure like any class, if there's like 100 people watching this, each session will hopefully drop off people. That's what's meant to do. And then by session 10, if you're still gung-ho and excited, great. That'll be the success story. It's always the top 20. Okay, we're in session 3. So what's today? We left off, I think, on session 2. Where do we leave off? About just making sure that this was a fit for you. We covered, staying up your office. Oh, that's right. And then getting clients, which first starts with your marketplace. So session 3 will now be on getting that first client, which really starts back to knowing where that client's coming from, the market space, which we established, and then basically figuring out, just how to get going. You're in your office, you're going to do, let's say, the medical market. Now what? You're in your home-based office, you have it set up, you have your internet connection, you got your phone ready, you need clients, right? So first of all, you want to get established on LinkedIn. Hopefully you're already on there, or if you came again from corporate America or home now, or going to try both at the same time, use your existing network. I think a lot of times we have a tendency, and I've done this myself. I'm trying to think, different times and when leaving one thing to jump into another. Even when I left, I decided to resign from my job as an HR corporate recruiter, which my husband thought was crazy. Again, doing really well, had just a great money, great time, and just something felt like, I wanted to have my own business. I saw all these other successful entrepreneurs move on to some amazing things, and why not me? And it was so scary though that I remember I almost wanted to open my own business, but I didn't want all my current colleagues to know that, because what if I failed? It'd be embarrassing. And I'm trying to think if the first steps I took, even with the business, I can't remember, that's many years ago now, over I guess 13, 14 years. Well, no, I guess maybe, 10 years at this point for just the business start. But regardless, I had to really push myself to say, okay, just let me do it, put myself out there. LinkedIn wasn't even around back then, so then it was really putting the calls out. And to call current colleagues to say, hey, this is what I'm doing. How can I hopefully help you in your business? That was really scary. And however, again, I think if you do it any other way, it won't really work. So you just have to really own what you're doing. If you fail, you fail. I think people respect when you go out there and you put yourself out there to try something new, because, let's face it, most people are afraid to do that. So if you do it, I don't see that really being a failure regardless. And the money always follows, I feel like, when you're following your heart and doing what you want. And if you do fail for whatever reason in a certain area you're trying, that's just life telling you that that's not the right spot. Shift your recourse, your map there a little bit and find the right spot. So all of this is just basically say, since we're trying to find a client, use your network. Don't be afraid. You don't even need a business name yet. Again, when I started my first business, the LLC, was Top Sales Reps, because I was kind of working with a close friend that used that name as well. And then it went on to be Sales Source, which was all my own for a long time, Sales Source. And later when I brought a partner on, it became Sales Source, and we incorporated Inc. That was back to the good old Sales Source. And that I use now for even clients and business development that I work with. And but anyway, so you don't need a name. You can just be you, going out there calling your clients. And nowadays, because LinkedIn is out there, you do have to utilize that, because LinkedIn is everything these days within the recruiting world. So get familiar with LinkedIn. That's going to be very important both in finding your candidates and clients. It's funny, a lot of these job boards, I haven't really been on job boards looking for a candidate in at least over 3 or 4 years, because I've kind of gotten more again on this, like, getting the contract side for companies. That's what I've been hired to do. It's been even more fun. You'll see in recruiting there's a slow progression. When I first started, I was trying to source and find the people. And then from finding the people, I spent more time just doing the interviewing. Then from that, I went on to really flying around the country, only doing the face-to-face interviews, having other people doing the other stuff. And then it kind of evolved to now business development in recruiting. I'm trying to go out to conferences, and I pull in the kind of bigger fish and where the contract's coming from, and kind of pass off now a team of people within a company I work with to fill the job order. And so you might, I've had friends though, however, that love the sourcing part. They never wanted any face-to-face stuff. They don't want to fly around or do video conferencing. So they just like to source and talk all day on the phone, and then pass it off to someone like me who would do more of the in-depth interviews. So that might be a piece that you do, and we'll talk about splits. You find a good partner, someone that does the other side of that, and you've got a great little business going. Um, or you'll be the full gamut, which is I think what you need to do early on. You definitely need to learn, I think, all the steps anyway, which is how I did it. So again, I'll speak to my experience and what made me successful. So um, that brings me to separate than LinkedIn is sourcing candidates. And I know we're talking right now about finding clients, but you're going to get on the Monster.com. That's what I was saying. I haven't been on there for a while, but Monster.com was the really big database that I used all of the time. And then, of course, there's many other ones now, like LinkedIn, only for clients, but I use for candidates. And then Career Builder was a big one I know, even up to the past few years within clean technology. Then there's the, Indeed.com, and there are some really good databases that cost more money that I only really used when I had a company I was working with pay for it, but I wasn't going to put my money out. The only one I put my money out for, it was about, when I first did it, it was Monster, and I think back then, I'm trying to think, it was around the 03, 04, 05 time frame when I started putting the money out to get on the job board, and I think it was around 10,000. But I learned very quickly, and don't do this. Don't go out and sign up for Monster and spend whatever they're charging. I'm sure it's come down a lot, but the $10,000 or whatever, because I learned if I networked with other recruiters, we could all pull and use the same password or username. If that was appropriate. I'm saying this live, but I know many recruiters do it. I even told the Monster rep that's what I was doing. So if you can give me some extra users, that's great. So I'm having to share. And then by having 3 or 4, in fact, Dave Klein, who I mentioned from Neighbor, and AHBR.com, that was the National Association of Home-Based Recruiting, we had started to try to start help mentoring young recruiters. But anyway, he went into it with me, my girlfriend, Robin in the South, that was an early mentor to me. So instead of spending 10,000, we were each spending maybe 3,000, and then later I added more and got down to like $1,000. Till later, then when I was working consulting with companies, I was able to get on with them and use their passcodes all for free to this day. I still work with a company called Magellan. And again, I haven't gone on a job board in years. But if I needed to, they're all still all the Monsters. Obviously, LinkedIn's are free, but you will want the better, higher upgrade LinkedIn. And then there's many other sites, but that's the top 2. So let's keep it simple. I mean, and again, Career Builder was right up there, but I think between Career Builder and Monster, they kept going back and forth. But with LinkedIn, and again, I had a friend, and I'm going along here, but I had a friend on the client side that wanted to hire a team of people for his own business, and I didn't have time to help him recruit, but I had lunch with him and said, hey, just use LinkedIn. Just get on LinkedIn. You'll find your people. And he did. He did it, and it worked. And he had to pay anybody, not even me, which would have been like a 10 grand fee. He was able, once I showed him how to use the LinkedIn, how to find people quickly. So that's where I think your mind should be. Again, I know this feels more like the candidate side, but you will use this for clients. And I'll have to do another clip to that because I'm going long on this, but it's going to take more time than one clip to now get into really how to find that client. Okay, so see you. That'll be session 4. So hopefully the ones that this still sounds good to, I'll see you session 4. Bye.